One of these still bugs me. First time I saw it, I shrugged. Same pistol name popped up twice in 1 week. One on a student's belt. One sitting in a trade-in pile like it was nothing. Fine. People get bored. Second time, I called it coincidence. Different range. Different crowd. Same damn model again. Third time, I started paying attention. Fourth time, I stopped lying to myself. These handguns will take over 2026. Not because I said so, because they already started. Same guns showing up like they own the place. Holsters, classes, trade counters, backorder lists. Not a viral week. Not internet hype. Just repetition that doesn't quit. 2026 doesn't reward best gun talk. It rewards what people buy again and carry anyway, so this list isn't specs. It's receipts. What keeps selling, what keeps running when it's rushed and dirty, what has features that actually change behavior, and what keeps dragging buyers back after they swear they're done. One pick looks way too normal until the reason hits. The Glock 48 MOS didn't come back. It started replacing stuff. Same cycle all year. Guy buys the newest tiny micro compact, swears he cracked the code, runs it for a few months, then the Glock 48 MOS shows up on his belt again, like a quiet relapse. No announcement, no post, just a different holster and a face that says, yeah, I tried. And that's the takeover part. Those micros don't just struggle. People want them to work. They need them to work. Then the timer starts screaming, hands get sloppy, and suddenly the little miracle gun turns into a chore. Low left hits, short grip wobble, a couple weird hiccups nobody wants to own in front of the class. After one session, my buddy swapped his super slim back out. I asked why. He shrugged. It actually shoots when I need it to. That line annoyed me because it killed the whole argument. I carried the 48 MOS hard the last couple months. Appendix, every day, sweat, truck seats, tired draws, no warm-up, mixed ammo, dirty mags. It disappears under a t-shirt better than people expect, but it still gives me a real grip and a sight picture that doesn't feel like a joke when I push speed. And yeah, deep summer concealment. It still feels blocky compared to the super slims. That part never stops nagging me. And I don't love what that means because the 48 keeps winning anyway, and I'm still waiting for the day it gives people a reason to leave for good. SIG Sauer 365 X hit my hand for the lie. That combo, slim, high capacity, easy carry, always steals from somewhere. Snappy reamed grip, or it shoots like a compass and you pretend you don't notice. This one pissed me off because the easy excuse. To my back, I run timer like I'm late for something. No warm up, no get settled. First mags feel normal. I push it. Fast pairs. Reset. I'm trying to make the X-Macro act small. It doesn't. It stays than it has any right to. Or front sight just comes back. Over. And that's when it gets dangerous. I put it next to two older carry guns I used to respect. And suddenly their traits look like a scam. Less capacity, more slower recovery, more work for the same hits. Standing there thinking, why the hell am I paying extra to give up performance? The price stings, and make buying one a damn menu. And that grip length still messes with my head when concealed. I carry it anyway to show up. More work for the same hits. I'm thinking, why the extra to give up performance? The price. SIG's variants make buying like decoding a damn menu. And that grip length still. Months ago, I didn't hear MC9 Prime from a dealer. I heard it from a holster guy. Not a hype dude either. Small batch maker, answers texts like he's doing you a favor. I hit him up for something totally different, and he fires back, cool. But you're not another Prime request, are you? That annoyed me. Like, who the hell is asking you about a Canik? So I asked what he meant. He sends me a photo of his order board. Not clean spreadsheets, just rows of names, scribbles, arrows, little angry notes, and MC9 Prime keeps showing up like a glitch that won't clear. Then he says, I don't even like chasing new stuff, but people aren't asking if I can make it. They're asking how fast. That's when it clicked. Guns don't hit holster demand like that unless they're crossing into default carry territory. Not cheap option, default. And the dangerous part isn't that it's budget, it's that it feels finished. Like it wasn't built to be good for the price. It was built to make you look at your expensive carry gun and go, what exactly did I pay for? He drops one line that stuck. First time I've seen people compare a budget gun upward without laughing. Then he goes quieter, barely a text. Just hope the first wave holds up. No explanation. Subject change. Like he already said too much. And what came after that was the first cheap one that made me wonder if good enough was about to get people hurt. Honestly, the Taurus GX4 Carry showed up on the wrong belts this year. Not my cousin needed something cheap. Not a trunk gun. I saw it at a serious training event. Former military dudes. High-speed carry instructors. The guys who normally show up with expensive gear and an attitude about it. And there it was. GX4 Carry. Not as a backup either. Their actual gun? That messed with my head. Taurus? Really? So I grabbed one and tried to make it fail in the same ugly stuff they ran. Draws from weird positions. Shooting after getting winded. Hands shaky. Grip half trash. Whatever ammo was on the table. This gun didn't belong in that room. It didn't get the memo. Controls stayed easy to hit when things got chaotic. Grip didn't turn slick when sweat and panic showed up. It kept cycling while a couple serious pistols started getting picky and precious. Like they needed perfect conditions to feel brave. I waited for the Taurus moment. The little betrayal. The dumb failure that shuts the conversation down. It never showed. What did show up was the one thing that still feels cheap. Those magazine base plates, fast reloads, they shifted just enough to make me look down and think, did that seat? And that's what I don't like. Taurus didn't win over the serious crowd by being cool. It won because it kept surviving their world. Now I'm watching the Ruger RXM, because that one builds momentum in a way that feels even weirder. Early this January, that dragged out winter feeling, my buddy's kid hit me with it out of nowhere. Uncle Steve, I'm a beginner. What pistol should I start with? I almost gave him the safe answer. The boring one everyone repeats because nobody wants to be blamed when a new guy screws up. But Ruger popped into my head, and I hated that it did. RXM sat in that weird middle space, too easy to recommend. And when something feels too easy, there's usually a catch hiding under it. So I told him, if you're serious, we're not doing this as a conversation. We're doing this as a trip. Same day, truck keys, no plan. He stared out the window like he was trying to figure out what a real gun was supposed to feel like. At the shop, he did what beginners do, looked at everything like it was the same and terrifying. Me? I listened. You can tell what's taking over by what people ask for without even touching the glass. And that day, I kept hearing from the wrong mouths. Not just new shooters, a couple guys who act above new stuff. One of them said it low, almost annoyed. It's stupid how much sense it makes. The kid picked it up and smiled. Real smile, not polite. I felt good for him, and then my stomach did that drop. Because when a beginner gun shows up in the serious crowd's conversations, it usually isn't for a cute reason. And I didn't like how easy that RXM answer came out of my mouth. Nobody walks into a shop and asks for a Grand Power K100 by name. That's not how this one moves. This one moves sideways, like a secret handshake. Slow range. Morning earlier this year. Place felt half asleep. Polite nods. Quiet benches. No TikTok energy. My buddy popped his bag open like he pulled out a tool, not a toy. No speech. No, you gotta try this. He just slid a pistol across the bench. Here, try this. I almost didn't. That's the honest part. I heard try this 1,000 times, and it usually meant validate my purchase so I don't feel dumb. 2 mags in, something felt off, in a good way. My brain expected the gun to jump, and it just didn't. Not soft, different, flatter. Like it tracked back on target faster than it had any right to. And I hated that reaction because it wasn't hype. It was confusion. 10 minutes later, I stood there with the same dumb look I watched spread across other faces. The question showed up, the one you're not supposed to ask if you want to stay rational. Wait, why isn't this more popular? Then the uncomfortable part hit later. Holsters, parts, little ecosystem stuff big brands solved years ago. You don't feel it on the first mag. You feel it when you try to make it real life. That's why I'm not fully comfortable calling it unstoppable. It spreads anyway. And it makes me look at the last gun on this list and wonder how the hell it takes over without that problem biting you. Somebody always starts at range break. 3 guys leaning on a bench like it's a bar fight with Ear Pro. One's a Glock guy, one's a SIG guy, one's got some flavor of the month setup. He can't stop defending. Same tired lines, louder every minute. They aren't even shooting anymore. They're just trying to win. Then the Smith & Wesson M and P9M 2.0 compact shows up. No big entrance. No, check this out. It lands on the bench like a tool somebody actually uses. And that's when the argument gets weird because nobody has a clean shot at it. Not a real one. They reach for the usual trash talk and it falls apart in their mouth. You see it in carry classes too. It's in range bags next to the loud guns. It's the one that stays when the trade decisions happen. People mess around all year, then they settle back into the M&P because it gives them the least to argue with. That's the takeover. The M&P doesn't take over by making noise. It takes over when people get tired of noise. And I don't love what that means because settlement guns make people stop paying attention. They get comfortable. They stop checking their own work. If 2026's winner is the gun that ends arguments, the takeover's already underway, and you don't get to feel safe about it. The M&P compact sits there like the final answer, and that's exactly why it bothers me. That's what a takeover looks like. Not one big spike, not a cute trend. Just the same names crawling into everything. Belts, classes, trade counters, until you start feeling stupid for pretending you don't see it. And here's the part I don't like. One of these feels wrong. Like it shouldn't win, like it should have gotten laughed off the line. It didn't. It kept showing up anyway, and it keeps making safe picks look shaky. So I want to hear it. What's the gun you keep seeing everywhere lately? What did you dump to get it? And which one on my list doesn't belong? I'm Steve. And if your setup feels final, you're the next guy holding a surprise you don't like.